So in this session, we'll discuss about DML operation, the same thing like a DML operation using PLSQL, but using entity concept, nothing but OAPLSQL entity. Okay, so it generally like there are, if you observe the onion layer, so we have page, CO, AM, Vivo, and then finally database. This is one particular way of communication. Another communication is page, CO, AM, Vivo, and Evo. So this is another way of communication. When Evo comes into picture, like your page is so intelligent and we can identify which row is updated, which row is not updated, which like all those things we can easily identify using Evo. But now in our case, as we don't want to use the by default DML operation generated by Java, we want to use the DML operation which are generated by, which are performed by PLSQL rather than the Java-based entity object. So there's still an option to overcome that particular functionality. So even though let us say I will mention, so this entity object is a Java wrapper which generates Java-based DML operations. We don't want to use the Java-based DML operations, but what we want to do is we want to use PLSQL-based DML operations. Okay, so this here, what we do is we'll override that particular OA entity IMPL. So here in this scenario, you'll come into OA entity IMPL extension. And in this second scenario, the one which we want to discuss, we'll come into OAPLSQLEntityImlpl. So this is the scenario which we want to consider today. Okay. So the package will be same. Let us see, like maybe once we design the sample, then only we'll get a clarity. Okay. So what I will do is, so I'll just create a similar page and same set of buttons, new OA components. Yeah, maybe we have to always start with the BC4J, right? So let's start with the BC4J. So what I'll do is, so on the package structure FND, right click, new entity object. Okay, next. So here FND schema dot server xxpivo. Okay, xxpivo header. I'll mention it as PLSQL entity evo for us to understand. xxpivo header PLSQL entity. xxpivo header is a table. Next, next. Nothing to change. Just simply generate till vivo. Okay, so it says maybe we can make our evo header ID as the primary key, and then here, right? So here, if you observe, this particular entity object by default will generate evo.xml, and also it will generate evoimpl.java. But we want to generate these set of methods also: DML methods, validation methods, create method, as well as remove method. Okay, so we'll understand what is this all stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead. Click on next. Now let us generate the Vivo object also. So the Vivo package will be fnd.server, and the Vivo will be, name will be Evo Vivo, OAPLSQL entity, PLSQL entity Evo Vivo. Okay, next, finish. Okay, so as usual, assign the Vivo to the AM. Okay, now here if you observe, this is our entity object. Okay, now what we do is, so let us finish the DML part, I mean to say like the business logic part, and then we'll discuss about the UI part. Okay, let's start with the insertion stuff. So now try to have a deep understanding of this EvoIMPL first of all. I'll just open the EvoIMPL now. So here if you observe, it has all these methods by default. There is one easier way to understand here. Here if you observe, for every column which we have in our particular table, you will have a setter method and getter method. We generally call it as accessors, or you can call it a set method or a get method. So now these are the variables which are available, nothing but these are the columns which are available in the table. Okay, so for each column, see, as a developer, we don't do any generation of, we don't write any logic here. These are generated by default, right? So when we just created our entity object, by default it generated all this method, and now what it is doing, it is extending OA entity IMPL. So what do you mean by extending? Extending is nothing but you're trying to utilize the existing functionality. You don't want to implement anything. You're just using the existing functionality and you just work on your core business logic rather than the implementation logic. Okay. Now, these are the set of columns which are available. And for each particular column here, if you observe, you'll have a set method as well as get method. Let me show you this. See, can you see get vendor ID, get segment, set segment, get vendor ID, set vendor ID. So these will have these number of things. And also there is something, so for each particular getter method or setter method, it is calling set attribute internal. So this is where the total core logic of setting the values is done. Okay. As a developer, we don't worry about how it is setting internally. We just use these method to write our business logic. Okay. So now once set and getter methods are done, so now observe the DML methods which are generated, right? So DML methods here, if you observe, the first thing is create, and next do DML, and next one is, do DML. So here, if you observe, custom DML update insert delete logic here. Okay. So now what happens is it will call super.doDML, nothing but like by default, it will call the OAPLSQLEntityImlpl DML operation to perform the deletion operation. Okay. This is how it happens. Like this do DML internally generates the appropriate DML methods by the Java. Now we'll be overriding those sort of things. Okay. So the first set of changes we have to do is instead of OAPLSQLEntityImlpl, which was generated by default, we need to replace with an API called OAPLSQLEntityImlpl. Okay, let me override that. Can you see? OAPLSQLEntityImlpl. Okay, so I'll mention here so that we'll understand. Okay, now
overriding that method, we are overriding our existing method.
Yeah, we are removing the existing extents with our another API. That is also standard one. Okay, OAPLSQLEntityImlpl. Now press Alt Enter so that it will import. Okay, this is the first change. And the next changes, let me just get that. So we will have a method called insert row. Okay, so here if you observe, it is not showing that, right? It is not showing that. Let me compile this one. Okay, can you see what it is telling? It cannot be overridden by doDML method. Final method doDML cannot be overridden by this method. So the problem with this one is by default we don't have an option to generate logic using this one. So what we need to do is we just need to comment few set of methods and write few set of methods. So what I'll do is I'll just comment this one first and rebuild. Okay, now there is no warning. Okay, next thing is, so we don't have any insert method, right? There is no insert method. And okay, first I want to have insert method, then we'll discuss about update method. But how do you know? How do we know whether we have insert method means? Observe this one. Just control click on this one. You'll have to have that. Can you see? Insert row, update row, and all these things. So that is how you're trying to. So you're extending something, and that is how we are able to find that information. Okay. So in the insert row, now what we do is same set of thing what we have done. Like now here, if you observe this particular sample, right, we are getting all the information. We don't need to get the row instance and all those things because the entity object is called for each and every row. So nothing but you'll have a row instance by default in the entity IMPL. You just need to use a get methods. That's it. You just need to use a get methods. There is no iteration. You just need to use a get stuff and create and perform the remaining callable logic which we have done. Okay. So let's do that. So
insert code.
Yeah. Okay. We'll copy this and I'll just paste here. Of course, we have to remove few things. So now what we do is we don't require this stuff, no looping stuff. Okay. There is no reason of this one. Okay. We just directly get the content, no row dot. Okay. And callable statement, vendor ID, and all these things. Okay. And then okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we have this thing. And similarly, let's create the remaining methods also, right? Insert row, we have update row and delete row. Okay. We will not write logic as of now, but we'll just create the methods so that we'll understand whether it is coming here or not. Okay. So I'll just say entered the update row method. Similarly,
And OAPLSQLEntityImlpl, no, that we should know, right? Otherwise, because there's no checkbox like that.
that is what it's all manual stuff. There is no by default generation.
Otherwise, we have some other row MPL and all, there is checkbox, then it is going to generate that. This
Yeah.
one is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now so I'll just create a new page. Now here, if you observe it, generally like now when we work with the PLSQL, if at all, if you want to copy paste a package, it's very easy. Now let us say in our case also, let us say if I want to copy the total page and re-implement, still that is possible, but it is always an error prone. We have to be very careful. Okay. The still we can do it. I mean, page level you can do it. Java level we can easily, we know how to be copy paste. But let us say if you want to totally copy paste, I mean totally copy paste a page, copy the file, rename it, but we have to make sure that we have to change the set of, like a necessary set of things. Now here if you observe, right, so we have to change the appropriate views and all those things, else like a page will not work properly and it is difficult to debug also. Okay, so based on our comfort we have to follow some conventions. Here DML using OAPLSQL entity PG. So okay, just create header region. Under the header region, I'll just table region. Next. Okay, so in this table actions, we'll just create set of buttons. Insert button. Delete button. Let's have save also here itself. Okay, so we have three buttons: save, insert, and delete.
Yeah.
Okay, so one initial thing. So what we have to do, let's go to AMIPL. Let's initialize the Vivo. Oh, it's not coming. Okay, there's a mistake. Right. Okay, this is a header one. Fine. Vivo is equal to get exits Vivo header. What happened? There is some mistake, I still feel. Yeah, it is there, right? So this is assigned properly. Evo Vivo 1. Yes, no mistake. Yeah, okay. Fine. That was null. Okay, let's call this initialization method from our CVO, process request method. Okay, write logic for the insertion also.
Yeah.
So that I'll try to copy paste. Okay, majority of the things we don't want to re-implement. I mean, if we know the logic behind something, right? So there is no harm in copy paste. So yeah, so we don't need to write every time. So what I can do is, so already we have written a logic for the purpose of, like insertion, right? Now let's say we'll not reuse this one, but I'm just copying pasting some set of snippet. Okay, event name we don't have as of now. Insert button is this one only, but insert in our case will be a different one. So in the AIMIMPL, so for the insert button already we know what is the logic. Let us say view.insert. Okay, so this one, the same set of copy I will use for this one. Okay, insert here. I'll just say insert XX. I'll just copy this one. Instead of init, I'll name it as insert. Okay, and instead of this Vivo, I'll replace here. Okay, but this Vivo is not having the row IMPL. We have to generate the row IMPL for this particular PLSQL entity Evo Vivo. So click on Java, generate, apply, and okay. Okay, now it's not auto generating, some issue maybe it's server. So or okay, see I have my row IMPL. So I'll copy paste my class name. Okay, yeah, here also we don't have the flag, so I'll just, this method will call whenever user clicks on insert.
Insert button.
Okay, aim dot this one. Now, so I'll similarly, as of now we have not written any, I mean, let's write commit also. We'll understand what happens exactly. because until unless we call commit, entity will not be called. Entity IAM will not, entity IAM EOIMPL will not be called. Let's see that also. Okay. So save button, no, nothing is written. Only in the insert I have written. Okay. So we can understand the total flow of OAF communication. Okay, by this.
Yeah.
I'll just run the page. Okay, it is loading the data. That is fine. Click on insert. It is inserting. That is also fine. I'll just clear the cache. Click on save. Obviously, nothing will happen. We don't see any log, right? We don't see any log now in this one. Then I click on save. But let's see here. I'll just say am.getOAV_transaction.commit. Okay. Now let's see. I'll also throw an exception. Data saved successfully. Information. Okay. Run the page. Okay. Let's click on insert. Okay. Now I'll just say 1000 P_1000 some number draft INR. Okay, so before clicking on commit, remove this, clear the log here. Try, click on save. Okay, now just see here what it said. Enter the insert row method. It said enter this one and invoking the PLSQL. Okay, so let us understand from where this comment came from. Okay, let us understand on save what happened. These all three things were called. So maybe we should have written log properly. So mostly it should be from EOIMPL. Let's see. Can you see insert row?
Yes.
Okay, I'll write like this. Entered the insert row method of OAPLSQL entity. Okay, and also entered the same thing, right? It says entered. I'll remove this, not required. And then invoking the PLSQL. It said invoking the PLSQL. OAPLSQL entity. Fine.
Yeah.
Now you can also check in the database. If everything is okay, it should have committed also. Thousand, can you see?
Yeah.
So there is no need of any unnecessary flag. No need of any insert flag, that flag, this flag. Clear?
But also performance wise also good here. Only the
Yeah, it is damn good. And yeah, now what we do is, yeah, so here we already have a update method and delete method also, right? Now let us say I'll try to change any of the data like this. Okay, now when you click on save, what should happen? It has to call update method also. Now just observe that information. What I'll do is I just changed one of the data, this one 99, and click on save. Can you see enter the update row method also? It is intelligently identifying that. Let us say what I'll do is I'll insert one new row. I'll insert a new row 1001 PO 1001 some number. Okay, and I'll change this data 100 something. Okay, now when you click on save, it has to call entity IMPL one row insertion, one row updation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'll click on save. Can you see? Enter the update method and remaining three things were the from the insert method. That's it.
Update method, you mentioned this. Update method, what code?
Update method, I have not written the logic. It is just a dummy method as of now, but we have to write the same logic which we have written earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
So PLSQL is not called yet. PLSQL is not called yet. Okay. So in the update also, we can write the same set of logic because our only difference was package. Remaining is just same set of parameters, right? There is no issue. There is no problem in that for us. So I'll just copy paste the same code here. Only thing is I just need to change my API name, the method name. So update Vivo, update method, update Vivo. I'll just write here. We can write calling update for Vivo like this. We can write it so that we can easily understand also. I'll just say get Vivo header ID. Okay. And similarly, end of update method. Okay, this way we can easily understand information. Enter the insert method for Vivo. Get Vivo header ID. Okay. And we can also implement the delete logic. Maybe right away we can do it. Enter the delete method. So the reason of discussing the earlier sample was because in real time you may come across different ways. It may be depending upon your organization or developer or maybe the business requirement like that. So that is why we have to know both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, like anyway, it is mostly a copy paste. There is nothing what do you call a different stuff. So OAPLSQLEntityImlpl into the delete method. Okay, it's almost done mostly. Yep. Maybe check this. So these braces is always an issue. Okay, so we just need to be always careful whether are we having any extra this one power braces. So for Vivo header ID. Okay. So how does entity know? How does entity identify whether it is insertion, updation, or deletion? It is always based on the Vivo logic which we have used. So when you use a Vivo dot Vivo dot remove, right? Row dot remove, then it will call the delete row method. When you call the insert row, insert stuff, right? It will call the insert method. So it knows that it maintains all the information, but we as a developer we can't identify that one. Okay. Yeah. So now for deletion, right, in the OAF page, I mean for this now, right? So we need to have a checkbox, isn't it? Because we need to select a row. So obviously we require a checkbox. Okay. So what I'll do is, so OAPLSQL entity. So first of all, you require a checker flag, I mean some flag, select flag. I'll click on new attribute, select flag, updatable always, apply and OK. And then PLSQL entity IMPL page, new, multiple selection, new instance, select flag. Okay. So because now our logic is only just remove from the Vivo, remaining thing will be taken care by database functionality when you click on save. Until unless you click on save, EVO will not be called. Remember that until unless we click on save or nothing,
Okay.
but until unless we call the commit method, it will not call the EVO methods. That's a default functionality. Okay. So now maybe for delete row also we can use the same logic which we have already implemented. Right. So delete PO records. I'll just use the same set of logic. No change. No, not much, but yeah, little bit. Till this, okay. Okay, so here I'll just say delete. I'll just maintain this one. I'll maintain this. Delete. Maintain. I mean the evo vivo respective evo vivos. And perform the loop. Row.remove. Okay, that's it. So select flag, get the row and row.remove. And once you click on commit, evo will be called for respective each and their respective rows.
Yeah.
And we can just do the same logic for deletion. And don't raise an exception until unless you click on save. Okay, I mean, yeah, either way we can do it. That's fine. Now let's say here, right? So aim dot. Okay, we can just say data removed successfully, but you can mention perform commit to save in database. Okay, just removing does not mean removing from database until unless you click on save, data will not be deleted. Okay, so in some pages you have this kind of requirement. Don't delete until unless you click on save. In some cases they say on a single button you want to perform both. So we have to deal with both cases. Okay. So this is very interesting one actually. Comparing to the other one, it is very interesting one. But yeah, we have to know both cases.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll select this one. P199. Okay, nothing is happening. Probably it could be the button name issue. Yeah, definitely button name issue. Okay, it delete BTN, right?
Yeah.
Delete BTN. Yeah. Okay, I'll delete this. Okay, you got some exception. Let's see. It says null pointer exception and delete PLSQLEntityImlpl 59. Okay, so in the Java 59. Okay, so we are getting row. See what is happening. There is some logical mistake here. If you observe, you're trying to remove some row without assigning. So what we have to do? Row is equal to. So sometimes a copy paste is always a trouble. So just you have to be very careful. Rows dot I. You assign a row, then you remove it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You assign a row and then remove it. So that's the issue. So we always need to observe the log carefully. Okay, there are always you'll have a pointer. Sometimes you may not have any clue, but yeah, but that is the only way to debug anything. So
Yeah,
it clearly tell. Yeah.
Line number, it gives the line number.
Yes, it gives mostly it gives the line numbers and the file name also. Now select this one, delete. It says data removed successfully from database and observe whether it entered the EVO IMPL logic or not. Maybe we have not observed that log. I mean, you can clear the log first and then we can just perform. So I'll just redo it again. I'll click on this one and delete. Okay. It says data removed successfully. Yeah, because we have not called save, right? That is why it is not calling, isn't it? You have not called save. Now, once you, okay. Yeah, now as of now, it shows how many rows? 5 records, right? But in database, we should be finding more. In database, we should be finding more, isn't it? Still, we have 7 here in the database. But from the OAF, it shows only 5. Now just click on save. Click on save. Now just see here. Can you see? Enter the delete record. 2 times it called. Got it?
Yeah, 2 times.
One is per 1000 and another is 1001.
Old one also.
Yeah. So this is the logic of the entity IMPL. Okay.
Old one it saves in buffer and now it is calling.
Yes, it will be in the Vivo cache itself. Unless you click on save, it will not call the Evo. That's a default functionality of the OAF. So like even PLSQL also, right? Let us say you have written an insert statement or you have performed delete statement. What happens? Unless you perform commit, it will not actually commit the database. It will maintain your particular SQL engine cache or PLSQL cache. SQL engine cache, I can say.
Yeah.
Okay. The same concept applies here also. So now one more thing I want to show here is, see in this one, right? So there is a button called export button. There is a button called export button. Just create a button under the table actions. Name it as export button. Set the view instance. Okay. Set the view instance and give the visual prompt for that. Export. Okay, can you see? It shows an export button. And it generates a CSV file by default. It's a standard functionality. It does not need to do any logic here.
For all the data.
Yeah, it just simply generates all the records. But if they want some customized way, then we need to design the XML report.
Okay.
So instead on button event, we just need to call the logic which we have designed, right? The XML report engine logic that we can call it on the export button. I mean, we just create a button and then, we have to call the custom logic for that. Okay. So we'll wind up here today. And in the next session, what we do is we'll try to discuss about there are a set of very important things. We generally call them as attribute level validations. And bundle exception, and then the DFF and KFF concept. Okay.